Hey everyone, this is Nathan with the CornFed coverage, and this is...
And I'm Michael.
And I am Chase. Please don't forget to like, comment what you think of the pod, and subscribe. We're going to get right into this Heroes game. Wasn't the best performance by the Huskers. It was a hard watch, but what do you think of the game, Michael?
I mean, Emmett Johnson was the only bright spot of that entire game with 213 yards and one touchdown.
217.
I gotta give him his flowers. 217. But other than that, it was just abysmal. Yeah. Iowa blew us out by 30 points, and what felt like 30 points at least, and TJ Lateef didn't look... I mean, our offense, besides Emmett, did not look great. I mean, the line did a better job of protecting Lateef, but receivers couldn't get open, and obviously that won't generate any yards. And so I was kind of flustered. I was just like, what the hell is happening? Because I knew Iowa had a really good defense, but I didn't know it was that good. Or maybe our offense just... Because it's astounding that Emmett got 217 yards, and we still got blew out by 30.
Yeah.
Because it was like 40-17, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, it's
40-16.
40-16. But that obviously doesn't look good for the defense either. Gronowski just ran it all over the place. We couldn't stop him. He was actually pretty accurate too, which is something I wasn't expecting, considering we have a pretty good pass defense. But Iowa's offense, we couldn't stop at all. And it also didn't help that we were just kind of not being able to stop them. You know, like either through the air or on the ground, it was just kind of tough. But
yeah.
The Huskers couldn't prove me wrong and win the game, so I wound up being right. But at what cost, right? But that's my 2 cents on that game. Hopefully the Huskers win their bowl game wherever they get selected to go. And hopefully Matt Rule can get the fellas up and ready to go for that. But Nathan, what were your thoughts on that Nebraska-Iowa game?
Yeah, kind of a lot of what you were saying I agree with, especially with the offense being one-dimensional. They gave up 0 sacks, which is a good sign, but there was a lot of pressures, and I think that another thing you have to think about and take to credit is the weather. It was pretty windy, and it started snowing during the game, so that also didn't help the offense if we need to, when we were falling behind in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Their return man, Witchen, he averaged 35.5 yards per turn, and I think that that obviously fed into Iowa having really good field position on just about every drive.
Yeah.
So obviously with our defense, I didn't think that we were playing terrible in the first half. Made a couple stops, had a couple big plays that were blown, but we were playing well. But then in the second half, I just think that we fell apart completely.
Kirk Ferentz
and as
got
a result
them
of
boys
that,
fired up.
Mm-hmm. But like as kind of what I was saying, a result of that is that Butler got fired, and I don't think that that's just a result of the Iowa game. I think that's a
entire
cultivation.
Season.
Yeah, I think that that's showing repetition that you're unable to adjust amongst other things. I do wish him the best. It sucks to see somebody get fired.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we need to have a higher standard here at the University of Nebraska.
Well, and what's even crazier is that in a press conference before the Iowa game, he was asked if he would do anything to adjust for their run game. And Butler said something in the realm of, I'll adjust when I need to in the game, or adjust on the fly if we need to, because our team's good at doing that. So that just kind of caught me off guard.
They are not. I don't know what he was talking about. I guess I didn't see that.
I feel like we usually get worse against the run as the game goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely agree. But with that, Chase, what did you think about the game?
Yeah, tough game, and I agree with everything you guys say. We were one-dimensional on offense. We had 69 total passing yards and 9 for 24, so just not a very high completion rate either. So we're just not completing passes. They weren't really scared about us. But Emmett, yeah, he looked great on offense. That screen pass right away that he took down there, even the Iowa coach was saying at half, like, I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was this good. But like Nathan was saying too, it was a game in the first half. We're down 24-16 at half, so it's still a one-possession game. And then to start that second half, we get that targeting, or the non-targeting call into the safety.
Stupid as BS to Jacory on that
and to
punt.
think the play before that got called back.
Yeah,
They did 2 punts in a row.
It was a 24-16 game. They get that safety, then they're up 10, and they immediately score a touchdown after the safety too. So then they're up 17 in a flash of the eye. And then, yeah, they just kept pounding us with the run game. And I think, not that the team gave up, I don't want to say that, but it just got kind of out of hand at that point then. And with the snowy weather and the wind coming, especially in that second half, things just got out of hand. And, yeah, looking back on it, it was a kind of a tough season. Fun one with some highs, though, especially if Royola doesn't get hurt in that USC game. I think we're 7-2 and we're ranked after that game. Who knows what happened? I still think Penn State and Iowa would have been very hard, even with Royola. But
yeah,
I feel like just because of how bad Penn State and Iowa slaughtered our defense, like for both games, Dylan definitely could have kept us in those games a lot better than what we were, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but outside of the Iowa and Penn State game, I don't think we were down more than 2 possessions at half in any of our games.
no, yeah.
Because
Minnesota, we were down 14-6, so that was still one possession.
Yeah. So, like, that's with
to
Dylan
be
at
fair,
quarterback.
against Michigan, we hit a Hail Mary.
Yeah, you're not
Tied the game
wrong.
right before half.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we still would have been in a 1-possession game at half if we didn't complete that.
Yeah.
Because that was to tie the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
But I feel like that USC game could have gone a different way. I still feel like we would have beaten UCLA because our defense, without any injuries, did a great job. But then
if we replay Minnesota, that game goes differently.
I think if it was a home game against Minnesota, we win that game.
No,
but
I think you send us out there again.
I don't know.
We just overlooked it completely.
Yeah. I think we'd come in with a better game plan, especially on offense.
I feel like our team would have a better mindset instead of trying to look past them, for sure. But
yeah,
I
think
don't know.
that it would have a different result than us getting boat race.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we don't get second chances in football. But I don't know, Nebraska's season outside of the bowl game, obviously, kind of right where we thought we were going to be, 7-8 wins. Obviously, I was wrong at 10-2. And that kind of lost it after the Minnesota game. But besides the point, the outlook for 2026 is we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen next year.
And we'll follow along, too, and update you guys as we know it. You never know. I'm going to try to stay optimistic. We keep Dylan.
I think that things are going to go...
And
things will be fine. We'll lose a couple of guys in the portal, just like all the other power conference teams will, just because it's the state of college football nowadays.
We got to see what Dylan does, though.
I'm confident that Dylan is going to be able to heal, and if Dylan's able to stay, which I hope he does, I don't think Emmett's going to stay. I hope he goes to the draft.
I think he's going to be...
He starts a successful career in the NFL.
I kind of want him to stay, but I'd be fine seeing him.
I mean, I want him to stay, but I think he could be at least...
Stay.
I think he could be at least a third-round draft pick, personally.
I would love it if he stayed, but I don't think that he will.
But on the outlook of Emmett Johnson in the season he's had, Nathan, he's produced over 38% of our team's total yardage this season alone. Just himself.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to replicate.
And like, if you're an NFL scout and you see that, and Emmett didn't get injured at all this season either, that means a lot to NFL scouts because that can show to them that your durability is up there. You know, you can take hits, you can take 20 rushes a game for 200 yards. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what he does, but I mean, Amir even said he thinks he should enter the draft just from the season he's had.
Oh, really?
I mean, he was second. Was he second in the NCAA for rushing yards this season? Or did he get the rushing record with the 200? Or not rushing record, the first spot.
No,
I'd have to look it up.
Leader.
I didn't know if he was a leader. I didn't know if he was. I couldn't remember if Jeremiah Love was before him or after him in yardage.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love, I know, had some big couple last weeks also.
Mm-hmm. So, but do you guys got any thoughts for Nebraska football before the bowl game winds up happening? Any outlook on the season?
Well, for the bowl
that you guys want to let our...
We're the youngest team in the Big Ten, at least right now. So, obviously making a bowl game is huge because now we get like another 3 weeks of practice. But yeah, what I want to see from Matt Rule, especially, is he needs to figure out that run defense too. Like, it's on him a little bit. He's a defensive coach first and foremost, and you got to figure out your side of the ball, especially. Like, I trust Dana to figure out the offense mainly, and yeah, Rule, he needs to get the DC hire right, and he's got to figure it out himself too.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree.
What about do you got anything to add? Nathan,
for me,
sorry.
I think.
Go ahead.
So for me, all right. Are you done?
I'm done. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. So for me, I think that the Huskers just need to kind of lock in and really focus on picking up right where we need to. Honestly, there's just a lot that needs to be fixed, so I don't know where needs to start or where they need to attack first. But first of all, I think that they need to start their defensive coordinator search. And there's a lot of names that could be thrown around. I don't really want to speculate a whole lot because I don't know what direction they're kind of leaning in.
Mm-hmm.
We could go within. We could definitely go outside the house.
Phil Snow is our interim DC. If we wanted
he's
to
not
hire.
bad.
No.
And I know he's got a good Florida pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I think that there could be a couple different names thrown around this offseason. But most important thing to focus on is to lock in, get a bowl game win. With this under our belt, we get 7 wins. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of who we play, just kind of stay the course. That's the message I want to get across.
Yes, sir.
But with that, let's go ahead and get into the College Football Week 14 rivalry review. Michael, do you want to go ahead and start us off with the games you picked?
Sure. I can certainly do that. So first off, Nebraska, Iowa. We discussed that. Iowa winning that one was huge for them. A step in the right direction for Kirk Ferentz, but it's got obviously Nebraska questioning the defensive side of the ball. So we'll see what happens for both teams, but unfortunately the Huskers proved me correct this past week. But we already talked about that. I don't need to really dive any deeper just because we've hammered it home, and I want to get on to the next one. And the next one that I wound up not hitting just because it's just brutal. Beyond brutal. I was on the wrong side. Or no. I said Texas over Texas A&M. I was right.
You were on Texas.
Yeah, you were right.
You said Texas money line. You were Texas Cowboys money line.
Yeah, and so I was right there. It kind of was a close game for a majority of there, but Arch Manning looked great. That Texas Stadium was rowdy, and the environment was just really cool to see, just for a team that kind of had a rough start to the season, and now they found their groove and our potential college football playoff team with that win.
Not.
They might inch in. They're 16 after beating A&M at number 3.
But there's no more games now.
No.
Miami doesn't play another game. Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I don't think that they get in, and I think that it ruins the out-of-conference schedule.
Alabama has gone. They made a schedule.
Yeah, they just.
If Texas doesn't go to Ohio State week 1 and they play, like UTEP or something instead week 1, and they only have the 2 losses in the SEC, they probably would go to the playoffs. Instead, they went at Ohio State to start the season, and they lost.
Yeah, but the College Football Playoff Committee only cares about you winning a football game, apparently. It doesn't matter who you play. Arch Manning, I mean, he was 14 of 29 for 179 yards and a touchdown with a QBR of 91. So he played a great game, and Marcel Reed, I mean, he threw two picks and no TDs, so it's kind of a rough game for him as well. He did have 71 yards on the ground, so take with that what you will. But I was on the right side of that. What about you, Chase? You want to go ahead and discuss your picks from this past week?
Yeah, not my best week choosing college football. I got both of them wrong. I did go with the homer pick, and I won't talk too much about it because we already did, but I went with Nebraska plus the 6.5, and obviously we did not cover that. We already talked about that, so I'll go on to my next one, which was Tennessee -3, but they did not cover. They lost by 21. Diego Pavia carried the ball for 20 times for 169 yards. Their running back also over 100 yards rushing. They ran all over Tennessee. Pavia was just efficient enough in the pass game too. And their defense played well enough. I mean, when your offense is rushing for like 300 yards and you put up 45 points, the defense doesn't have to play that well. So, we'll
it is crazy. They
might find themselves outside of the playoffs. I don't really know exactly. They're a 2-loss SEC team and might not make it. But we'll see what happens. It was a great game by Pavia and the Vandy Commies.
Yeah, so I'll feed in right onto that because that was one of my picks right there. Was Vandy plus, what was it, 3.5?
Yeah, 3.5, mattering when you got it.
Yeah, so kind of exactly what you said. I think it was a not really defensive game, but the adjustments that Vanderbilt made at halftime were pretty solid. Just because they didn't let up a whole lot of points in the second half.
What was going through Tennessee's mind at half, though? Because they looked like a different team when they walked out of that tunnel for the third quarter. And not in a good way.
Yeah.
They looked sluggish.
Tied at half.
That's kind of what I thought, too. Yeah, Vandy just seemed to turn it up at halftime. That seems to be what they feed into.
What was going on with Aguilar? Did he look different from the first half to the second half to you guys? Did you guys watch that game?
Yeah, he definitely seemed a little more off in the second half.
He just didn't seem as consistent in my mind. But
he took some.
I don't know what was going on. He probably just had some bad smelling salt or something. But my other pick.
It was fun to watch, though.
Yeah, it was a lot of
game.
offense.
Yeah.
High-powered SEC typical game.
Probably is fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always nice to see an upset in. Well, I guess it was an upset at an away game.
Yeah.
But the other game that I picked was Georgia Tech to cover against Georgia plus 14.5. And they lost 16-9 at home. So they did cover. Very defensive ball game. Only 9 points scored in the second half. Gunnar Stockton looked all right. Not that great, though. But honestly, I would say Hayes King looked a little bit better, but just Georgia's that much better of a team. Their defense is so dominant. And I think that that's kind of a tale of the tape where just the players on paper are so much better from top to bottom on the roster. So, Georgia Tech just needs to keep recruiting. We'll see if Brent Key stays there. I believe that he probably will this cycle, but who knows? It's the crazy world of college football. But yeah, so 2-0 on the college football picks this week.
For a minute there, I thought I was going to get Georgia Tech money line right.
Yeah,
it was close
you said that
at
too.
halftime. I'm like, oh, dang.
I was surprised Tech was able to hold Georgia to 16 points.
Their defense played really well, but Georgia's is just that much better. Yeah. And that's what happens when you got a top 5 team or top 10 team in the country.
Did you guys see the Illinois Northwestern game in the fucking blizzard that was their field?
No, I missed that.
Their field was a whiteout. They had no fans in the stands, and the only people at that game was either A, the people who worked for the team / everyone that needed to be there, or B, the goddamn field staff. They literally, when the players went in at halftime, they took their snowblowers / shovels / their little bulldozers with a shovel on it across the entirety of the field at half, and they cleared off the entire field.
Oh, wow.
Just for them to have a field to play on. Like, I'm telling you guys, go look up a photo from that Illinois Northwestern game some point tonight. It was... I had fun watching that game. Preston Stone didn't play that great, and neither did Altmaier, but it felt like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to play very well.
You guys remember that Minnesota? I think it was in an NFL game when the Vikings stadium collapsed, and it was like blizzarding up in Minnesota, and they had to play at the Gopher Stadium. It was just like that weather last weekend up at Illinois.
The Niners had to play the Packers in Lambeau in the playoffs. I know what a snowstorm looks like.
Last year,
it was
we
that.
Just played,
it was that type of weather.
Too.
It was that. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, snow football's fun to watch.
Well, like, dude, they would throw the ball and it would bounce off of their pads and then go 30 yards the other way because of how icy the field was. I was just like, how the hell do you catch a ball in this? Let alone run.
Yeah, you run it. Yeah. You run it.
Like, my God, you guys should go and see that, because that stadium was cold, barren, empty.
Tom Brady
Nobody was in the stands.
That he found it easier to play offense in the snow, because it slowed down the defense, and then just slowed down. Tom Brady.
Oh, really? That makes sense. Definitely makes sense. But yeah, I thought I'd bring that up. Illinois wound up, I think, winning the game.
Yeah, they won. I just was looking at it. They won 20-13.
Yeah. It was a close... Northwestern had a chance to win it twice. They had 2 different drives in the last 5 minutes of the game.
They tried to send it to overtime.
Yeah, they had... I think their last offensive drive started at the minute 15 mark. And they got to Illinois' 40-yard line on a 4th and 7. And he threw a little crossing route to the middle, and it bounced off the dude's pads. And that's how it ended. But it was a fun game to watch. It was close, too. That Northwestern team is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, not bad. 6-6, they're going bowling.
Yep. Where'd Pat Fitzgerald get hired at?
Michigan State. I think that's he was good at Northwestern. They kind of oversee the expectations a lot.
Yeah.
How it goes.
I think it'll be a good hire. I definitely think Pat deserved another coaching job, for sure.
Yeah, because it wasn't really his... It was players on his team hazing other people. He wasn't necessarily involved.
No.
But I knew about it.
It's a sticky situation.
We'll see how he does. I hope for the best for him, but not against the Husk.
Yep.
Not against the Husk.
But with that, let's go ahead and get into the conference championship previews this week. Chase, why don't you go ahead and kick us off with the game that you picked out?
Yeah, I'm going to go Big Ten championship game. I think there could be an upset. I'm on Indiana. I like Mendoza. Heisman front runner. I think Indiana's going to be able to score first, put some pressure on Ohio State. We haven't seen them really in any game pressure, and I see this game being close into the second half, and I'm excited to see how Ohio State may handle being down in the second half, having to put together a drive, but I'm not going to say I'm super confident in it. I think Indiana keeps it close. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Ohio State wins. Obviously, they're favored, and they got the monster receivers, but I'm going to put my trust in Kurt Signetti and what he's building at Indiana, and it's kind of unheard of. Year 2 at Indiana, undefeated.
Back to back.
First 2 years, they're going to make the playoffs. And they may just win the Big Ten. So I'll take Indiana.
It's definitely insane.
Kurt Signetti's going to have a
side of you
biopic.
there.
Kurt Signetti's about to have a biopic about him whenever he fucking retires. But go ahead, Nathan.
He'll
sorry.
probably get played by Kevin James. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm on the opposite side of there. I just think that Ryan Day has had too many ghosts in his head. They just smacked Michigan at home at the Big House. And I don't think that he's going to be satisfied with going home anything less than 13-0. But again, Signetti definitely he's building something awesome at Indiana. I'm jealous. I wish we had something like that at Nebraska. I would be insufferable. But I think that I'd have to go with the Buckeyes there. Just from top to bottom, I like their roster better. I think their defense is insanely good, especially with Downs playing back there. But on the offensive side of the ball, I think that Julian Saints progressed throughout the season. And obviously, like you were saying, they're monster wide receivers out there. You know that they're going to be able to score kind of whenever they want to, hopefully. So I'm on the opposite side of you there. But
what about you, Michael?
Michael, what about you think?
I like Indiana.
Okay. I respect it.
Honestly, plus 4.5 right now on ESPN Bet wouldn't be. I don't think that's a bad take at all. I honestly think it's right where it's supposed to be. But Nathan, it's hard to go against a man that when they are up 60 points, he is chewing out his players for missing
Purdue.
Yeah, but still, it's a head coach who is not content with that type of gameplay. But I also have to remember Penn State almost beat them if it wasn't for that last throw into the end zone. And
that's to their credit.
Indiana.
They're a good team.
Yeah,
I don't think
they are.
Penn State's bad. Like Penn State took Oregon to overtime.
They beat us by 30.
Almost beat Indiana. Like Penn State could hang with a lot of teams this year. They just had kind of a season from hell, especially in their middle of the season.
Well, especially with Drew Aller getting hurt, that didn't help the case at all. But it's not about Penn State. It's about Indiana. Indiana, Nathan. I'm tired of Ohio State. I'm tired of them being up there, okay? I'm tired of it. Nebraska.
You're a Michigan fan secretly, aren't you?
I'm not a Michigan fan. Fuck the blue.
I like Michigan more than Ohio State, I'll say, but...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that
Nathan,
leads us into my pick.
Hold on.
For
You're
this
going with
week.
a program that banned one singular person from ever going to said stadium.
That was propaganda.
You're siding with the Pity University. It's called the Pity State University, actually. That's what they branded. The Pity State University.
So we don't claim him. But that actually leads us into my picks here, and I'll kind of leapfrog you there, Mikey. So I'm going to talk about the SEC title game, and I think that we got Georgia and Alabama. Line is Georgia 2.5. Give me the Dogs 2.5. They just got out of a very defensive game against Georgia Tech last week, and that's a good rivalry. So obviously they're going to play it close. They went to 6 or 7 overtimes last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like they're battle tested, and for whatever reason, Kirby Smart has Kalen DeBoer's number.
I was going to say,
give me
they played
Besides,
this
earlier
year,
this
too.
year, Bama did win in Georgia.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
I honestly,
This is a neutral
back to
site,
the well.
though. It's a neutral
Back
site
to
game
the well.
in Atlanta, which is technically closer to Athens than Tuscaloosa.
Back to the
Bama
well.
fans will probably travel, though.
They'll
so
travel.
They'll probably be 50,
100.
50 maybe. Maybe a little more Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's in Mercedes-Benz, so I don't really know if the crowd will be a huge factor. But I do think that it'll be a good game. I think Kirby Smart's got to bring his A game, but something that
Gunner has to play top-tier football.
Do you think
I
if
think that
Bama loses, they're out of the playoffs?
Yes.
third loss, right?
Third loss, but it would kind of suck if they miss it because of that, because they earn the right to play in this game. Like, they would almost be better off.
Yeah.
They'd get punished
If
you're
they
looking
lose,
at they'd get punished.
look
I
at
think they would
them,
have to
you look
get
at
destroyed in the game to be taken out of the playoffs. I think if they lose
I
a
don't
close
think
one,
that-
they get kept in.
I don't think they get taken
who's
out as long as
who's
it's
behind
within
Bama
7.
playing this week? Virginia and BYU. And I guess you got Tulane and North Texas, but that's not going to matter.
BYU will likely lose to
Tulane,
Tech.
North Texas matters. Winner's gonna probably make the playoffs.
Yeah, I was
James
just
Madison's
more or
gonna
less
be there,
I was
too.
just more or less saying that it
Yeah,
wouldn't
I agree.
affect Bama making it or not.
Yeah, that's fair.
But so they've got BYU and Virginia, but Virginia plays Duke in the ACC, which is a crazy a 7-5 team is making the championship game.
They went. They
Chaos.
lost 3 games out of conference. Duke lost to like Tulane, Northwestern. I don't even.
That's
No, they lost
crazy.
to Illinois. Yeah.
So if Bama loses and BYU loses and Virginia wins, I think Bama stays in the CFP. Now
Well,
if BYU
If Virginia wins, they're in for sure. They're the ACC champ.
Mhm.
They get a.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if Virginia loses, though, they fall out.
Mhm.
Do you think a Texas Tech loss in the Big 12 and a Bama loss in the SEC? Do you think Texas Tech just takes Bama's spot and pushes Bama out?
Texas
realistic.
Texas Tech's
What
no matter
happened-
what.
Texas
what
Tech
happened
is a
the last
12.5
time-
point favorite. I know.
What happened the last time Tech played BYU?
I'm very well aware what happened last time because I was
I
on the
don't
wrong
think that
side.
Tech is going to lose to BYU.
It
this
sucks
week.
because
No.
I think if BYU loses, they're out, which almost
yeah.
isn't fair. But
Oh yeah, BYU will be out, and who would hop in then?
that's what I feel like Vanderbilt
Texas.
can't pass
You-
Bama because Bama beat Vanderbilt by like 14.
Texas,
Yeah, I could see Texas hopping in if
Miami.
But Miami's right there. That's why the
Miami
Miami Notre Dame things, because Notre Dame feels like such a better team right now when you watch them play. But week 1, Miami beat Notre Dame, and they have the same
Yeah.
record. So if I was a Miami fan, I would be absolutely
I'd lose
pissed
it.
if Notre Dame got in over me when we beat them head to head. Because I feel like it does
Yeah.
have to matter to a certain extent. Like you play the game
Let's
Who
on
did
pull up
Miami
the
lose
rankings
to
here.
this year?
They
So
lost
so
to
hold on.
SMU and Louisville.
The top 12 as
That's
of right
why.
the top 12 as of right now is Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Bama, Notre Dame, BYU, Miami. And then it's
Does
Texas,
Ole Miss
Vandy,
get,
Utah,
how far does
USC.
Ole Miss drop?
They're 11
After
and 1,
losing
and they're in
Kiffin.
6th.
They're already locked in because they're not
No,
in the.
but how far do they drop?
They're not. I don't think they're gonna
They
drop.
definitely will drop for losing their head coach and their offensive
I
coordinator
can see
and their
A&M
play caller.
staying above Ole Miss, but I think Ole Miss stays above 7. The college football playoff rankings will come out later tonight. We're recording
Yeah.
it Tuesday,
That'll be good to
by the way,
see.
to our listeners.
Because then we've got Texas, Vandy, Utah, USC looking in, going from 13 to 16. Then we've got Virginia, so if they beat Duke, they're automatically in. So
The top 8 are in, and then the 11th and 12th spot are going to be to the ACC and the Group of 5 team. So you're debating who's going to be ranked
9 and 10.
9 and 10, in my opinion. I think Oklahoma and whoever's ranked above are in for sure.
Gotcha. Who? So my who?
And if BYU beats Texas Tech, then there's only one spot available because BYU would get the Big 12 spot.
Yeah.
And I think Tech stays in with a loss.
So they would push Bama out if Bama lost to Georgia.
I guess if BYU and Bama win, I guess it's pretty easy.
If BYU and Bama win,
Yep. Because
so
then
would it just be
Notre
BYU
Dame
and
gets-
Georgia would stay?
Notre Dame gets moved out because BYU would take the 10th spot from Notre Dame if they win. And if Bama wins, they'll be
There's
somewhere.
a lot of there's a lot of different ways this could play out.
Yeah, and then right behind, it's just hard
You've got
because Miami,
Texas,
Texas, and
Vandy,
don't play.
Utah. It would just be a Texas Vandy discussion, honestly.
We'll see what the rankings look like later tonight because this isn't updated for.
Oh, it's not updated from Saturday,
No, it
from
actually
the
might
last
be now.
week.
The rankings might have just came out because they're showing updated 12-0 records.
Ohio State, Indiana.
Yeah, so never mind. I think this is updated right now.
So, from here, would really the only two looking in just be Texas Vandy then, since that's 13-14?
No, you got to put in Virginia and Tulane right now. Would be 11-12 technically because they're conference champs.
So then we're just talking about 9 and 10, like you said.
Uh-huh. And Bama can take care of business, and BYU can move up in there if they win.
Now, if Bama wins, I think Georgia stays for sure. I don't think they would fall below 10.
Nope.
And then that would just be it. Then it would be Notre Dame, Tulane, Virginia if they win, and then Georgia, Bama, and 8 through 1. There's a lot of ways this could go. It's gonna be exciting to watch, though.
If Bama loses, there's a lot of discussion. I think. Obviously, if they win, then both just Bama and Georgia are in. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Michael, what about you? Do you have a pick for the conference champ week?
I was going to do BYU, Texas Tech, but then I was thinking about this earlier today, and I was like, I don't want to ride BYU because they just played like 3-4 weeks ago, and I don't think anything's changed on BYU to make me think they would beat Tech. So I'm probably gonna ride with my SEC champ pick, and Georgia beat Bama by that 2.5. I do think they cover, but like I said earlier, Gunner's got to be on his A game because Bama had your number earlier this season, and you certainly do not want to get left off or left out of the college football playoff from losing to Bama again.
I don't think a loss takes Georgia out.
No, they only have one loss right now.
Yeah. But, I mean, you still don't want to enter a college football playoff bracket with a recent loss to Bama, who has beat you twice already this year.
And there's a possibility if Georgia loses, they fall out of the top 4 and they don't get a first-round bye.
First-round bye.
Yeah. They'd probably still get a home game.
Yeah. I don't see that. But yeah.
But
I lean...
Michael, with what you were saying, Ohio State won the national title last year, right?
Yep, after losing.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Ohio State didn't even make the conference championship game last year, actually.
No, because
they lost to Michigan.
It was Oregon, Penn State,
Indiana.
right?
Oregon, Penn State, yep.
Yeah, because Indiana was left out. You're right.
And then Penn State lost in the semis last year
Yep, they lost to Notre Dame
after
in
winning the Big Ten.
semifinals.
Yeah, because they beat Boise.
Drew Aller threw a
Mhm.
really bad pick in their last
Yep.
drive to try to tie the game. I remember because I bet on Penn State. But besides the point,
Yeah.
I won't really
Uh,
talk about this. But I don't love the spread, but I do think Virginia's going to win. So that'll just be Virginia money line. I think they're favored by 3.5, 4, but I don't think I'm going to mess with that because I could see Duke keeping it close. But I think Virginia finds a way to win the.
Darian Mensah.
Who do you think gets the group of 5 from Tulane or North Texas?
Tulane. Gotta go with my
North
pick.
Texas is favored 2.5 right now.
They got a high.
Well, both head coaches have left.
They're
head coaches have left.
Both head coaches are gone.
Yeah, but their offense. I mean, I guess the OCs are still there, so you still get those high-powered offenses for both teams. But that is crazy. But no, I thought the head coach for Tulane still gets to coach this game, right?
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but I do know.
I thought he did. I
know he took the job for Florida.
Yeah, I saw he took the Florida job, but I also saw that Tulane was saying, or maybe it was his last week of the regular season that they were allowing him to coach. Maybe that was
North
it.
Texas is going to win. I'll roll with them.
I've seen clips of them from this year, and they just, I mean, granted the teams they're playing, but they've looked high-powered.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was like, I bet the over-under's high, because I'm like, I know
66 and a half.
Yeah.
66. It's the highest over/under this week.
Yeah, it makes sense.
In front of Virginia, Duke.
Honestly, Tulane, North Texas sounds like a very fun game to watch.
I feel like it'll be fun.
A lot of stakes for the game too, which makes them more fun.
Yeah.
The Bama, Georgia, and the Indiana, Ohio State over/under are both at 47.5 points.
Yeah, that makes sense. Those are more normal over/unders.
And then I guess BYU, Texas Tech is 49.5, but Tech is favored 12.5. I, for the record, think BYU covers that just because it's their second time playing this season.
I kind of lean for them covering too.
It's just a lot of points to cover, but I know Texas Tech is big oil money. They have a high-powered offense, and they fucking put BYU and their fans into a 6-foot grave and poured a building on top of them.
Yeah, because wasn't it like 29-10 or something?
It was bad. It was bad on BYU side. They couldn't get any offense rolling whatsoever.
Yeah.
But for the record, I think BYU covers.
Championship football.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got North Texas winning, BYU covering, Georgia covering, Indiana covering, and Virginia covering for this week.
Nice.
But what do you think, Nathan? Tulane or North Texas?
Tulane.
He picked them from the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's right. You've been on Tulane
sticking
this
with
year.
them. I had insider info.
Whatever. I'll do North Texas, BYU to cover. They're gonna lose though. I'll roll Georgia with both of you since I'm kind of split on that game. I'll roll with my boys, and then Indiana and Virginia.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go opposite of you there, Chase. I'm gonna go Duke to cover. Give me Tech money line. Obviously, dogs. Give me Buckeyes against Indiana. Who am I missing?
James Madison, Troy, I guess.
Go JMU.
Yeah.
JMU. Yeah, that makes sense. JMU is
But
literally
with that,
favored
let's go ahead
minus
and get
23.5 points.
Let's get into the Kiffin debacle. So, Mr. Lane Kiffin accepts the job at LSU. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not up to date on the timeline of events. But basically, he was ran out of town. And people met him at the airstrip and were heckling him as he got into the plane. But personally for me, I don't think that the university should have told him that if you take this job, you cannot coach the playoff. Because do you not care? You just hit 11 wins for the first time in program history. You don't want to try to see if he can win it all.
Mhm.
And if he does, maybe that changes his mind and he's happy to stay at Ole Miss. But I think that the hard cutoff of saying, if you take that job, we're done. I think that alone is kind of like, all right, well, to someone who's non-committal like Lane Kiffin, who's had some very bad exits in his career, I think that alone is kind of like, well, all right, fuck you then. I'm going to leave. Peace. They're paying me more. I'll have more money. It might be a better job just because LSU's a bigger brand. But I'm interested to get what you guys think about it.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of feel the same way as you. I feel like if I'm an Ole Miss fan, I would want Lane Kiffin to coach us through the playoffs, even though he's leaving, because I feel like I'd want the best chance possible to win a national championship.
At least send us out in a Blades of Glory.
Yeah, he's the offensive play caller too, so that's just going to hurt them on top. Like, yes, they get to keep their OC to be the interim coach through the playoffs, but he's not. Like, Lane Kiffin was calling all the plays. So that's going to be a big blow to them offensively, I feel like.
I think they're keeping their defensive coordinator, and their OC is going with him to LSU.
Yeah, their DC got promoted to interim head coach, and their OC also got heckled on the plane with Lane Kiffin.
Well, maybe the OC
So
is not going to be an interim, but I saw he's going to be able to. He's coaching Ole Miss through the playoffs.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all weird. I mean, Lane Kiffin does not leave places usually. When he leaves places, it kind of gets messy at the end. It's kind of a tough spot to be put in because he's like, I think this job's better. That's probably what he's thinking. But I want to coach these players that I've coached all season. But I mean, I don't think it's his yearly salary. I think the NIL is the biggest.
I think
that $25 million
it's
NIL
easier
check
to recruit.
that they offered.
It's way easier to sell LSU than it is to sell Ole Miss.
Yeah, just because of that brand, but put yourself in some of those players' shoes that have been with Lane for their 4 years through college, and you were one of the players that stayed with him.
He's not in their shoes.
Yeah. I mean, some of the
and I know
players may just follow him to LSU.
Yeah, but I was more or less like addressing those junior seniors that might be contemplating whether they just go to the NFL or not, or stay for one more year.
Yeah.
But I'm putting myself in those senior players that, you know, have played for Lane for the past 4 years, and, you know, saw him as a coach and as a father figure and stuff like that. And then, you know, you make the college football playoff, you're 100% in. And then you wake up one morning and you see, oh shit, our head coach, this father figure that I've had for the past 4 years, has decided to just up and leave our entire team for a different program that is still in the SEC. And, like, what am I to you, chopped liver type thing?
He wanted to coach.
Well, and I don't blame Lane Kiffin at all for that. I blame
the AD.
University.
Needs to fix this calendar of when the transfer portal and coaches like when the NFL and a coordinator gets stolen, they coach their team throughout the season. I feel like we need to figure out a way that like these coaches stay until the season's over, not just when the regular season's over.
Yeah, I saw Lincoln Riley say nothing's ever gonna change unless we move the national championship game up to like Christmas or New Year's instead of waiting till January 8th to do it. Just because the way that NCAA calendar is, that transfer portal window opens literally next week or in 2 weeks. And you're going to be mid-college football playoffs, and you're allowing players the chance to leave for probably about a month or so. And then you're also allowing head coaches to get poached before they've even played their first college football playoff game for their team.
James Madison's coach is actually gone too. So any group of 5 team, those 3 that are kind of in it to make it, none of them have their head coach anymore.
Yeah. Which is crazy to me. Like,
that might happen every year with the group of 5 team. because
Yeah, and like that just makes it tough for a group of 5 team to go back to back college football playoff because you're losing your coach to a higher tier program because you're not able to offer that coach the money he's getting
and then
offered
he
at.
takes his best players with it. I mean, it's what Kurt Signetti took
It's what
all his
Signetti
James
did to
Madison players to
JMU.
Indiana, at least the better
Yep.
ones.
Yep. And JMU, I mean, granted, they're still a top 25 team now, but still, I mean, imagine if he did what he's doing at Indiana with JMU, but JMU doesn't have
JMU's
Indiana
just a
money.
pipeline.
Yeah, they would.
It's
Yeah.
a pipeline.
But like, no, the NCAA needs to fix their window because allowing players to leave 2 weeks into December when you still have a college football playoff game to play, or a bowl game to help send your team off on the right direction, is crazy to me. Or, I mean, like, I get it if you're entering the draft, you don't want to play the bowl game because you don't want to get hurt before that draft. But like, those sophomores, those juniors, even those freshmen, like, I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. You're going to transfer to a school, play one game this year in your bowl game, and then what? Like, you're just going to be with them next season, I guess. But is one game the year before really going to make a difference when you would just transfer after your bowl game anyways? Like, I guess you would maybe get like a couple weeks of practice, but yeah. That's just
I don't
my...
know.
Yeah, it's tough.
I don't know
That's
if it'd be
just
beneficial.
I don't know. They just need to fix that window.
Should we move on to NFL?
Yeah. So what happened? Michael, go ahead and give us what happened with your picks last week.
You go. I just got done
Me?
talking.
Okay. All right. Well, so I had 2 picks. Went 2-0. The Niners beat the Browns in a snow game in Cleveland. Kind of a weird one. Just good defense. Niners JV team really showed out with all the injuries we've got. Saleh called a pretty good game. Shador did not look great, so that always helps. But then the other game that I picked was the Cowboys-Chiefs game on Thanksgiving, and the Cowboys outright won, but I just had them covering.
I was right.
Great game.
Michael is the one who kind of started out that rally, and I was like, yeah, I like the way he's thinking here. So thanks to Michael, I went 2-0 in the NFL and 2-0 in CFB this weekend, but the Huskers lost, so it's all for nothing. But not the worst weekend of games. It's always nice to kind of have games spread across Thanksgiving and stuff.
The Thanksgiving game was great.
Mm-hmm. But Chase, what about you? What were your games?
Yeah, I had a good weekend in the NFL. Went 2-0 on my picks for this. My Thursday game was Bengals +7 against the Ravens, and they won outright. Wasn't even really a sweat, and I feel like Joe Burrow just brings the best out of his defense. They just, like, we're all humans. They might have not really believed in Jake Browning and Joe Flacco, so when they get down, it's kind of hard to play some good defense. But, man, when you got Joe Burrow back there, they played hard. Lamar Jackson's kind of looked off a little bit all year, I feel like. He doesn't seem quite like himself. And I'm glad
Not
Joe
as
Burrow...
consistent, for sure.
Glad Joe Burrow's back.
Mm-hmm.
What he said before the game kind of rang true. He's like, I get paid tons of money to play a children's game. He's like, if I'm healthy, I'm going to play. Because fans were like, why are you playing? You should just sit out this whole year. We're not going to make the playoffs anyway. But I love that he's a competitor, and he's going to come out and finish the season off, even if they were 3-8 going into this game. So, good job, Bengals, on covering. And then my other one was Bills -3 against the Steelers. And kind of exactly what I thought was going in this game. I remember when the Chargers played the Steelers, and we're not a great running team by any means this year. Up until Week 9, Justin Herbert was our leading rusher, but we were able to run all over the Steelers. So I'm like, Josh Allen, James Cook, they're going to run all over the Bills. And that's kind of what happened. Steelers kept it close for a little bit, but then eventually Bills kept running the ball, and Aaron Rodgers still doesn't look completely healthy, so once they were down 14, it fell over. So, yep, good job. Good job, Bills and Bengals. What about you, Mikey?
Mm-hmm.
I went 2-0 as well with the Cowboys Patriots. Can I have a moment for my king, Drake May? Because he looks like an MVP.
He's the leader.
He's the favorite. He's pretty heavily favored because the next one is Matt Stafford at plus 300 something. Or no, it was plus 145, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like semi-close, but yeah, Drake's the leader as it stands today.
We kicked the Giants' ass. It looked like we were trying to give CTE to the Giants anytime they touched the ball. For some weird reason, their fucking offensive line decided to try and pick fights with us for the entirety of the first quarter, no matter who we hit.
Yeah, you guys laid out Jackson Dart in that each fight.
Jackson Dart needs to protect himself and run out of bounds and not tiptoe the sideline.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're going to get motherfucking rocked.
When they replayed it, I was like, yeah, it's clean.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to get rocked if you're in between those white lines.
Bounty gate.
No bounty gate. Though Ochevsky, or I don't know how you pronounce his name, but
Gunner.
The Giants returner got laid the fuck out. Like, his helmet chipped. Like, his logo on his helmet was gone. And they reviewed it. It was a clean hit. Was not a targeting call. Was not dirty.
No, he wasn't launching himself when he hit head-to-head.
No. Yeah, the Patriots looked great. I mean, Giants are 2-10, and their defense just is kind of not great.
You guys were still up 30-7 at half, so I'd say you dominated them. They came back a little bit, but that's because you guys started playing a little prevent D. But I think your guys' special teams are great. When I was watching, I was like,
it's fun to watch.
Like,
Marcus Jones got another return. Marcus Jones had a 94-yard kickoff return or a punt return for a touchdown.
And you guys forced a fumble on one of the Giants' kickoffs. So right there, you guys got almost 14 points just from the special.
Well, then Younghoe Koo was trying to flop his shot way too hard and got his foot stuck in the turf. I've never seen that before for NFL.
Yeah,
he didn't even touch the ball.
Yeah,
no,
totally whipped the ball.
He looked like me with my 60-degree wedge trying to flop a golf ball onto the green. Yeah. And then absolutely miss it.
I can give you better than that.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident I'd at least touch the ball. It may hit one of the linemen in front of me, but...
Yeah, I mean...
I'll give you progress, I promise.
Yeah.
I definitely haven't seen that in a very long time. And Younghoe Koo is actually he was a pretty good kicker, so that was kind of surprising to watch.
He used to be really good.
Until this year, because I think he was maybe on the Falcons this year, and he
got released from the Falcons, I think.
Yeah.
Last year, at the end of last year.
But yeah, Patriots played a phenomenal game. It was a lot of fun to watch. And on to the bye week, and once we're off bye week, we play the Bills at Gillette. So we get to focus on that moving forward, and we have to be prepared for that because...
You guys play Bills and then Ravens, I'm pretty sure. So...
Yeah.
I think I'll know what I think about the Patriots after those 2 weeks, and if I'm willing to back them in the playoffs or not.
So by January, you should know if they're a Super Bowl contender, Chase?
Michael, you're a young team. Mm-hmm. It is okay not to trust in them. I personally think that you guys are going to go home first round at a team like Kansas City.
Like everyone else thinks. That is a Patriots hater, and it's sad to see us back at the top. But
it's okay that you're at the top of the regular season. Your quarterback's not proven in the playoffs. Your head coach isn't either.
You see me wavering.
You got done beating up on the 2-10 Giants.
Do you see me wavering? Because I am not, Nathan. If that's what you're trying to make me do, I am not wavering.
I remember when the Tennessee Titans were the 1 seed and they lost first round.
I remember when the Patriots lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Not first round, but their first playoff game because they had a bye.
I remember when the Patriots lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl, and Vrabel seemed to not care about that and decided to mollywhoop their ass.
What would you rather have? A loss in the Super Bowl or a loss in the first round?
Super Bowl.
Fuck, Super Bowl.
I've never seen the Chargers.
It's got to be Super Bowl.
That'd be such a fun ride.
It hurts. It really hurts.
I mean, it definitely hurts
because he's been there before, but
I'd rather see them lose a Super Bowl.
I wasn't thinking about like a Super Bowl loss would hurt because even just losing to the Texans last year, I felt like I was in fucking hell.
Well,
And that was
like,
just
if
wild
I'm
for
thinking
them.
about it,
It's painful.
the last time the Patriots were in the playoffs, we got blown out to the Bills with a rookie Mac Jones, and we lost 33-3. We couldn't do shit against that Bills defense in 2021.
So what if something like that happens again?
Our defense is better than it was back then, and
They're a
our
better quarterback,
offense.
too.
Our offense is firing. Like Drake May's first in the league in pass yards. He's second in the league in completion percentage. He is, I think, fourth in touchdowns this year as well.
Yeah.
Kayshawn Boutte
I'm starting
has
to
had
come
a
around. I've
coming
been
out
trying
year.
to not buy into Drake May, I feel like, as much. Maybe if he was on any other team but the Patriots, just because the Patriots have had some. But, yeah, he looked good. I liked his little fade pass. It wasn't to Diggs, but to someone else to start
to
the game.
Kayshawn.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
Or was it
Kyle Williams.
Kyle, yeah. I think it was Kyle. Kayshawn had a phenomenal fucking catch, but it wasn't a touchdown. But
It was early because I stopped paying attention to the game eventually when it was like 30
it was over. It was over at half. I just kept on watching because I haven't seen an offensive fire show since
It's your team, too.
in a long time. Yeah, I wanted to watch the whole thing.
Well, what was your other pick?
Mine was the Cowboys Chiefs. Was my other pick.
No, I remember like
Cowboys.
being Cowboys
Yep,
money
you're
line.
right.
Yep.
Which I guess,
saw that. I saw
Sorry,
that
you
from
go.
the beginning.
Yep.
I called it. I'm fuck Chiefs country. I don't care. Now with the Chiefs at 5-6, their playoff chances are a little bit tougher.
6-6.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's 6-6 Chiefs versus the 7-5 Texans Sunday Night Football. It's
Go
kind of getting
Texans.
down to the wire a little bit. The loser could, if the Texans lose, they're not out of it. But if the Chiefs lose and they're 6-7, I will say they're eliminated.
6-7.
They're not going to be mathematically eliminated.
Don't do that,
Chiefs
Nathan.
lose, they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
They have to win out, I think, to make it. But
Personally, I think you and I would be totally okay with the Chiefs not in the playoffs, Chase.
I mean, you just think they're kind of inevitable just because of how they've been all these years. Like I keep thinking, like there's no way the Chiefs are going to miss the playoffs, but they just keep losing these games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess going into next week, I can do my pick. Kind of, you guys were both on the Cowboys last week. One of my picks this week, Thursday Night Football. I'm going to take the Cowboys +3 against the Lions.
Ooh,
I know it's kind of scary.
I could see it.
Detroit's really good at home, but I also think Cowboys are really good in the dome. Every week, kind of the tandem of Dak Prescott, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, they're looking better every week. Ever since they made those trades, got Quinnen Williams in there, they're able to stop the run. Their defense is, instead of being
much better.
Yeah, instead of being atrocious, they're kind of average now. Like Pat Mahomes had 4 tutties against them last week, but he's Patrick Mahomes, and that was a must-win game for the Chiefs, so it was a hard spot for their defense. I think it's two teams kind of going in a different direction this season. Lions have kind of trending downwards. Cowboys are trending upwards this season, so I think Cowboys can win the game. So I like them +3.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And then for my other pick, I'm gonna go back to the well from last week. I'm gonna take the Bengals +5.5 against the Bills and ride with Joe Burrow again. I think it's too many points, and the Bills' pass defense has holes. People are able to throw on them, so I think Joe Burrow's going to have some success with Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is coming back. I like Chase Brown to score a little bit too. I think Bills win, but I think Bengals are going to keep it close, and it's going to be a field goal game.
I like that a lot. I think the Bengals will be able to keep it close.
They're
Bills defense is
4-8.
susceptible.
Steelers and Bengals are both 6-6. They're not completely out of it, but it'd be really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I could
They'd have to
definitely
win
see
out,
the
I think.
Bengals covering for sure. I don't think it's going to get past 7, just because Burrow was able to beat the Ravens, and the Ravens are kind of known for their defense.
Yeah, I think Bengals are going to be able to score. Bills are also going to be able to score, though.
That's in Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think that the Buffalo crowd will be good, but Burrow's too good. He's played in front of
It does
hard
seem like a
crowds.
spot where maybe Josh Allen like goes off. He necessarily didn't play the best against the Steelers as their run game mainly, but I just think it's
Mhm.
7 points.
I agree. I'll go ahead and go next. I like the Jags at home against the Colts, plus 1.5.
I like it.
I don't know why, but I feel like Cohn's looking for a signature win in his first season. And for some reason, I don't think that they win outright, but maybe I take an alt line, give me Jags plus 3.
Jones is a little hurt. He's got that fibula thing he's dealing with.
Mhm.
And the Jags defense is definitely capable because they beat the Niners, they beat the Chiefs, or not the Chiefs, the Chargers this year. They're solid.
Yeah.
So give me Jags plus 3 there. And then the other game I like is Bears plus 6.5 at Green Bay. I think that's kind of follows the suit of what Chase was saying with too many points, especially with the divisional matchup there. But give me Bears plus 6.5 in Green Bay. Mikey, what about you?
I like both of those.
I'm going to go Chargers plus 3 against
like
the
that, of
Eagles
course.
for Monday Night Football. I see that being a close game. And the Eagles are, I wouldn't say they're frauds, but they're hit or miss. It kind of just depends on who decides to show up.
Yeah, their offense can
There's
definitely go stagnant for a while at times.
But I do see it being a close game. I'm also going to go Browns minus 3.5 against the worst team in the NFL currently. Just because the Titans, any team that's played the Titans, I think, besides 2 or 3, has covered the point spread. So whoever is playing the Titans,
They did beat the Cardinals this year.
I know we did not cover against the Titans, but we should have.
Patriots covered. But besides the point, I think Browns win that game. We'll see. I think Shador's still starting.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder
don't
what
think
the
Gabriel-
over-under in that game is, because I also think there's
33.5.
I was like, there's going to be weird weather in Cleveland, too.
Yeah.
This could be like
It's
17-3.
Yeah, it's the lowest over-under of the entire week.
Yeah, 33.5.
The highest over-under is 54.5. And that's the Lions Cowboys for Thursday
That's what I
night.
was going to guess. I was like Cowboys Lions, bro.
That makes the
Yeah,
most
that's a
sense.
Thursday night game right there.
And it's in a dome.
Yeah, so weather won't affect anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I feel like I could go 2-0 again this week. We'll see though.
I hope you do.
I like
The
it.
playoffs
sake.
the playoffs are getting tight. Chargers are right in
They're
it.
right around the corner.
According to athletics.com, we have a 61% chance. If we beat the Eagles, we have like a 76% chance to make the playoffs. If we lose, we're at 50%. So 25% chance swing for the Chargers this weekend.
We don't like that.
Stressful.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Patriots are
And
on
it'll
bye
be
week,
primetime
so-
football too.
I don't have a Patriots game to pick, but if they were playing this week, obviously I would pick that game as well. But
I'll take the stress-free and hopefully get some guys back after the bye week from injury on defense.
Yep.
So
I'm
that'll be
hoping
nice.
Will Campbell can come back for the latter half of the season.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice. He's really
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
But with that, was there anything else you guys want to discuss before we let our viewers go?
No, sir. Anyone watching, if you guys got any comments, takes, hot or cold, leave them in the comments and we'll potentially feature you guys on the next show with the comment. So, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. I am Michael.
And I am Chase.
And I'm Nathan, and this was the CornFed coverage. Thanks for watching.